everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing a giant book haul because would it be one of my book hauls if it wasn't giant? I don't know how I keep on ending up with so many books for these book hauls. Like, when it's just a list, it doesn't look so intimidating, but then I go and pick them up for the thumbnail and I'm like, how am I not dying? That is literally my workout for the year. But today's video does contain a paid promotion with the Disney Book Group in honor of the recent release of Little Do We Know by Tamara Ireland Stone. This book follows neighbors Hannah and Emery, and they haven't spoken in months. Emery is fine-tuning her application to the UCLA Performing Arts program and just enjoying the final months she has with her boyfriend before they are separated by college. Meanwhile, Hannah's faith is shaken by her family's continual financial struggles. No matter how much either of these girls wants to bridge that 10-step gap between their houses, they are unable to until they unexpectedly end up crossing paths again. Hannah finds Emery's boyfriend Luke doubled over in his car in front of her house, and the ensuing chaos ends up revealing a lot of secrets about their argument that make them rethink everything that has happened. This story is told in alternating chapters between the skeptic and the believer, and it pieces together their very complex relationship. Tamara Ireland Stone is the author of Every Last Word, which I've heard nothing but great things about. There are so many awards that it's won, like she has so many accolades, and it's definitely a book that I've wanted to pick up. I just haven't gotten around to it, but now that I have this in my hands, it's definitely more motivation to pick up her first book. The story sounds really interesting. I love reading things about friendship, specifically female friendship, so I'm interested to see how their relationship is going to unfold. Next, I have some more books that were sent to me by Disney Hyperion. So this is the entire new paperback set of the Darkest Minds books. So these each have an exclusive new story centering on one of the characters. We have The Darkest Minds, which has a Liam story. I love Liam so much. And then we have Never Fade, which has a Vita story. And then In the Afterlight has a Clancy story. And then Through the Dark has an excerpt from the upcoming release, The Darkest Legacy. That is coming out at the end of July, and I'm so excited for it. The Darkest Minds is one of my absolute favorite dystopian series, if not it's my favorite. The movie looks like it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait for it to come out. So I'm very excited to have this paperback set, especially because look at how cool it is that it spells out dark. So amazing. Also, I unboxed a really fun package containing these in a reading vlog, so I will leave the link to that down below. Next up, I have a ton of titles from Penguin Random House. They are always so kind and send me so many books. So first is Always Never Yours by Emily Wibberley and Ostman Siegemund-Broka. This is written by a couple in love, and it is a love story set against the backdrop of a school production of Romeo and Juliet. I didn't need to hear any more. I was instantly like, this sounds like the perfect summer read for me. I have already read it. I will link the wrap-up where I talk about it down below, but oh my goodness, it was so good. This is actually out already, so while I have an arc, it came out in May, and you guys should definitely pick it up. It's such an adorable love story, and there were so many Shakespeare references that, like, I was just like, this is my English nerd dream. Yes, thank you. It's also kind of, in a way, a reimagining of Romeo and Juliet, but about Rosalind. Rosalind? You know who I'm talking about. So that was very interesting, and I loved the take it took on that. I loved the characters. The main character is definitely frustrating at times, but I still was like, this is so amazing. You should definitely pick it up if you were looking for a fun, cute summer contemporary. Next, they sent me Lies You Never Told Me by Jennifer Donaldson. The arc has the cover, like the actual words of the cover, on the back. It's very confusing. But in my search for a synopsis for this, I found nothing. So I'm just gonna read you the little bit that we get on the inside. Elise, the more secrets she keeps, the more lies she tells. Gabe, he's haunted by rumors he can't control. Catherine, a fresh start means no more mistakes. Sasha, she will do anything to get Gabe back. I don't know what this is about. It says it's about like forbidden love, dark secrets, shocking betrayal, and enough destruction to keep you totally hooked. But it also has strong friendships and grand romances and the characters you'll really root for. I'm intrigued, to say the least. It's kind of like a thriller mystery, I believe. So that's definitely a genre that I've been kind of like slowly meandering my way into. So hopefully this will be one that I will enjoy, and it is coming out in May. So it will also be out by the time this video is up. Next is If You Come Softly by Jacqueline Woodson. This is actually the 20th anniversary edition of this book. I hadn't actually heard of it before, which is quite unfortunate, but I saw this cover and it is like so beautiful. It's such a beautiful anniversary edition. But this is by the same author of Brown Girl Dreaming, which is a book that has been on my radar for a very long time and I definitely want to read it. I feel like it's like a modern classic now, which really makes me want to read it. But this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I don't know what it is with this book called and Romeo and Juliet, but like there's so much Romeo. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Literally just in this book haul. But this is a star-crossed love story, obviously because Romeo and Juliet, but it's all about a Jewish girl who falls in love with a black boy. I feel like this is going to be really powerful and really sad, so I think I'm going to have to be in like the right mindset to read it, but hopefully I will be soon because it's super short and would be a very quick read. Also, I mean, it sounds really good. Next is Mapping the Bones by Jane Yolen. This is another book that I'm definitely gonna have to be in the right mindset to read because my goodness does this sound powerful. This is all about Polish twins in World War II who are sent to a ghetto and they end up trying to escape with their family, but that escape goes horribly wrong. In the end, they end up in a camp where the doctor likes to experiment on the prisoners, especially twins. Honestly, even just saying that like makes my heart so heavy and it just gives me the chills. I know a little bit about the origin of this story just from what I've learned in school about the doctors in those camps, and I can't even imagine what kind of read this is going to be like, so I'm definitely going to have to like be in a certain mindset in order to be able to read this. But I do think it could be a really powerful and hopefully very informative story. Next is Blood, Water, Paint by Joy McCullough. This is actually a story told in verse based on the life of Artemisia Gentileschi. I'm really sorry for that pronunciation. But she was a painter whose mother died when she was 12, and from that point she had to make a decision. She was either going to live out her life as a nun in a convent or she was going to help her father by crushing pigments for his paint. She ended up choosing paint, and by 17 years old she was one of Rome's most talented painters. However, she's living in a world ruled by men, and after a tragic incident she is once again forced to make a decision. After she's raped, so a trigger warning for rape with this book, she has to choose between telling the truth and therefore risking her life or staying silent. I think this book is like just aesthetically so beautiful, and if you could feel the cover, it feels like a canvas. Like the fact that that much care went into this book is amazing to me. But I'm so intrigued by this story. I love things that are based on true events, so I'm interested to see how it's going to translate into verse. Next is Nothing Left to Burn by Heather Ezell. This book follows Harper in the morning after she loses her virginity. She is woken up to firefighters at her door because there are wildfires that are sweeping across LA, and now they are threatening her gated community. So this is set over 24 hours, an action-packed 24 hours where she's just had a really big life event occur and now she's in danger of losing her home and everything she knows. I think this could be a really interesting read and I'm definitely intrigued by it. Next is a book that I'm sure you've seen elsewhere if you follow any other bookish social media, and that is Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. This is all about Mila and Riley, and they have always been inseparable. Mila even enjoys Riley's favorite activity, which is amateur witchcraft, because just casual. So when Riley and two mean girls at her school die, she is very skeptical, to say the least. Everyone else thinks that they were in a suicide pact, but she doesn't take that at face value. She thinks that there's something more going on. So what else can you do to uncover the truth but bring the girls back to life? I've heard some really amazing things about this book. I'm not generally into zombies, but this doesn't really seem like it's going to be a zombie story. I will admit the second I saw Undead, I was like, meh, but I'm actually very interested to see what it's going to be like. I think it could be a really cool but fun story, but also like sad and creepy at the same time. I think it's just going to be a lot of things. And the final book that was sent to me by Penguin Random House is The Game of Hope by Sandra Gulland. This is set in France in 1798, just after the French Revolution, and it follows Hortense. Hortense is at a boarding school for aristocratic girls, and she enjoys all the crafty, artsy activities. She loves to paint and read and compose and play music. However, she's also the daughter of Josephine and therefore stepdaughter to Napoleon. Now, while everyone is really enthralled by Napoleon, Hortense doesn't really get it. She sees him as an unworthy successor to her recently guillotined father. This is actually inspired by Hortense's real-life autobiography, and once again, I love things that are inspired by real life. So I'm just fascinated to learn more about this girl. I don't even think I knew that like she existed. Obviously I knew about like Napoleon and Josephine, but I never really thought of the fact that there were children involved. So I'm so so interested to see what life is like in the fallout of the French Revolution, especially for someone who is so close to the cause. Next, I have two books that were sent to me by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. So first is Isle of Blood and Stone by Makiia Lucier. This is all about Elias, and Elias is a royal explorer and also best friend to the newly crowned king. He is soon supposed to be embarking on a journey into uncharted waters. That is until the tragedy of two previously presumed dead boy princes resurfaces. I did not mean for that to be a pun, but you know what? Some things just come naturally. So he ends up discovering two maps with hidden riddles, and it makes him question whether these princes are actually dead. And to top it all off and make him even more confused, they seem to be in his father's handwriting. I'm always down for like a good exploration tale. This makes me think of actual like Tudor-ish era history. I don't know if it's actually based in that, but I think there was two boys, or at least one, that they presumed was killed. I don't really remember, but I definitely know of it. It's somewhere in my brain that I can't access now. But I do love a good exploration story. I love me some royals, so I'm like, yes, please. Next is Brightly Burning by Alexa Donne. This is a retelling of Jane Eyre, but in space. I feel like that's the new thing with YA. It's like this, but in space. I'm totally down for it though, like don't think I'm complaining. Especially this one, it literally sounds just like Jane Eyre. So it follows the main character Stella, and Stella is switching from being an engineer to being a governess on a ship. However, she finds out when she gets there that the ship is haunted, and after there are several attempts on the life of the brooding Captain Rochester, Hugo, she is left with more questions than answers and embarks on a journey to try and find the answers that she wants. I just am like all for that blah 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 but in space thing that is going on, especially when it's classics, because I'm just like, yes please, so I can't wait to read this. Next, from Raincoast Books, I received Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I was so excited when an arc of this showed up because some publishers don't do arcs for sequels, but apparently they do, and I was like, yes! This is the highly anticipated sequel to Carval by Stephanie Garber, which I read when it first came out. I love the darkness and the whimsy of it. It was just the perfect combination. I also really love sister stories, and this happens to be a sister story. I don't know if it's still happening, but I thought that this one was supposed to be from the perspective of Scarlet, and if it is, I'm super pumped for it. I mean, either way, I'm really pumped for it. But Scarlet is a character that I really like and really intrigues me. But I can't wait to revisit Carval in this book. This will actually be out by the time you guys see this video, but it is not out yet when I'm filming it, and I haven't read this yet, and I'm hoping I'll have time before release date, but I doubt it. Next, from Simon & Schuster, I got The Summer of Broken Things by Margaret Peterson Haddix. This is about two characters who used to be friends in their childhood, but then circumstances kind of pushed them apart. Avery seems to have everything, meanwhile Kayla is known as Butt Girl because her last name is Butts. The two have been separated for a while when Avery's father invites Kayla on a trip to Spain. In Spain, the girls end up discovering a secret that their family has been keeping hidden from them for years. I just want to know what the secret is. I have like speculations, but I can't wait to read this to actually find out what it is. I love the fact that it's like a summer trip to Spain, but then there's also like this intrigue to it, and then there's also like the friendship thing going on. I'm so pumped to read this. Next, from HarperCollins, I got Invisible Ghost by Robyn Schneider. This is about a girl who is best friends with her brother, who is 15 and will forever be 15 because he's a ghost. Everything is fine with them and she's really happy with the arrangement, except it's really keeping her from advancing with her life, and she doesn't realize that until an old friend ends up moving back into town, and she sees all that she is missing out on and ends up being drawn to it and has to decide between her brother or moving on with her life. This sounds like a really original story. It's kind of a twist on stories that I've read before, and I'm so excited to see how that twist is gonna work. Next is Furyborn by Claire LeGrand. This was sent to me because I am participating in the Fiction Faction book club for the month of June. I'm so excited. So I'm going to be reading this alongside Natasha at Tashopolis, Hannah at A Clockwork Reader, Maureen at Maureen Kiwi, and Naya over at Naya Reads and Smiles. This month our book club is partnering with Source Books to read this excellent fantasy. If you wanted to join us in reading it, I will leave the link for all the book club info down below for you guys. I'm actually currently reading this when I'm filming this video. I'm about 200 something pages into it, so I'm gonna withhold any opinions until I finish. But so far, I'm very invested in it. It's a story about two queens who are each in different time periods, and it shows how their lives kind of affect each other. There's a Blood Queen and there's a Light Queen, and even though these queens are centuries apart, they hold the power to save the world or doom it. I just love queen stories. stories. I love the whole concept of this with the 2 different time periods intertwining, and I can't wait to finish it. The writing is really great, and it's just an excellent read. Next, I have some books that I received in subscription boxes. So in the April Owl Crate, I received Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This is all about like casino mobster families, and it's about a girl who doesn't fit in that world at all. She goes to like finishing school, but because her mother ends up going missing, she puts herself headfirst in this world that she's really uncomfortable with because she wants to try and find her mother. It has really admirable characters. I've actually already read this. I will link the wrap up where I talk about this one down below as well. And I did really enjoy it. I did have a few issues, but overall it was a really cool story and definitely intrigued me with this world. It was super unique. Next, in the April Fairy Loot, I got Beyond a Darkened Shore by Jessica Lee. I'm so excited to read this book. It seems to be a blend of all sorts of different mythologies. There's like Norse mythology, Celtic mythology, Viking stuff, and it's set in magical Ireland. It seems like it's going to be crazy. I'm just hoping it won't be too much and there will be the right balance. But there's so many Viking books that are coming out soon, and I really just want to read at least one of them because I'm so excited for all of them, but I haven't gotten the chance to read any of them. Next, in the Whimsify, I received Ashe Princess by Laura Sebastian. I actually had an arc of this book, but like clearly I haven't gotten to it yet. This is about a princess who has been imprisoned her entire life. She has been humiliated by those who have imprisoned her in her own castle. So she's just kind of been going through the motions of her life, accepting her fate and kind of submitting to her captors until she realizes that even though they can control her circumstances, they can't control her mind. So she finally starts fighting back, and I am just like, yes, I want to read it. Next, Whimsify also sent me their Starlight and Dreams box, which was an exclusive box for A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. I unboxed this in a reading vlog, so I will link that down below for you guys, but it was a really cool box featuring all sorts of different A Court of Thorns and Roses inspired items. I forgot the title of the series for a second there. It's fine, but I have read this and I did a whole reactions video while I was reading this, so I will link that down below for you guys if you wanted to go and check it out. Next, I have a few books that I bought for myself, and I'm just going to quickly talk about them. And I'm talking about them quickly because I'm very tired and I honestly just want to take a nap. I've been up since 5 a.m. So first is Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. I owned this book before, but now I have the nice hardcover. I haven't read it yet. I suck. But it's a steampunk World War I-ish story. I've heard really great things about it. I really like Scott Westerfeld, so hopefully I will like this. Next, my mom and I actually picked up a couple of historical fictions. My mom and I really like historical fiction, so we picked up Songs of Love and War by Santa Montefiore, and this is about a castle in Ireland. So I'm like, yes, and it's set in the 1900s, and it's just a castle. I love castles. And then we also picked up The Dutch Wife by Ellen Keith. My mom read it and she did like it, but like she said it's a really intense and scary story because it's about a girl who I think she ends up being a prostitute during World War II to survive, and it just sounds very sad. So I totally get why she would say that. It also, I think, follows someone in Venezuela. I don't know. There's lots of things going on in this book, but I've heard amazing things. And then the final book for this book haul is Gateways to Bookland by I don't even know who. I was at a used bookstore and I found this and I was just like, Bookland! That's hilarious! It's definitely a Canadian book because it has O Canada in the front, which is amazing, and it's apparently for grade 4. I don't know. Price is 20 cents. It's printed in 1938. To Bookland! So fun. It's like a book of poems. So that is all for today's book haul. Thank you very much to Disney Book Group for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check out Little Do We Know by Tamara Ireland Stone. If you guys haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I put up new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can also follow me on all of my social media to talk about all things bookish there. All links will be down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!